Had it not been for European colonization, we wouldn't delineate between the Philippines and Indonesia. Our closeness and proximity and ancestry forms the backbone of a long-standing friendship. In this week's Food Diplomacy, I meet Indonesia's new ambassador to the Philippines during an important holiday that reflects the similarities of our cultures. Family, hospitality, and friendship. Values Indonesia's envoy to the Philippines, Dr. Sinyo Harry and his wife, exemplify in their recent Eid al-Fitr celebration and in their mission. Eid al-Fitr marks the end of Ramadan, a holy month of reflection, sacrifice, and fasting for Muslims. It's a time of joy and blessings when families open their homes to neighbors, a practice in Indonesia called rumah terbuka. The ambassador and his wife welcomed Muslims and non-Muslims alike, sharing faith, music, and of course, traditional dishes representing Indonesia's diverse cuisine. Ambassador, Selamat Idul Fitri.
Terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, and I know this is a celebration for the community, especially here in the Philippines, and you've invited everyone because part of the tradition is to have open houses.
Yes, open house.
Can you tell us just briefly the importance of Idul Fitri to the community?
It is, I think, all over the world. Every Idul Fitri, like what we are having today. But then Indonesia also special. Yeah, the Idul Fitri from Muslim, but also non-Muslim also together celebrating the Idul Fitri. For me, it's a good cultural. Yeah.
And of course, a big part of it is the food, because for 1 month you were fasting from dawn to dusk. So tell us about the food that you celebrate with today.
Yeah. Food in front of us is the culinary Indonesia, like this one, rice. This some vegetable, and it is a special in Java culinary. This one chicken, right? Yeah, vegetable. Chicken, eggs, and rice. Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of it is
stewed. We call it sambal.
Sambal.
Yeah, you know.
Very spicy.
This one, it's also combination, right? Vegetable, eggs, and santan.
I recognize mi goreng noodles.
It is mi goreng noodles, fried noodles, right?
And of course satay.
Now the sauce. It is from peanuts and also from ketchup. Oh, this is the egg.
Egg, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like some siomai, I see.
Siomai, yeah.
And I have to say, Ambassador, that's my favorite.
Very delicious. It is from Padang. We have an ethnic Padang, Rendang.
And so you have a good representation of all the different regions of Indonesia.
There is so many also culinary from Indonesia, but it is some of them. But it is normally have in all the ethnic in Indonesia and all the region in Indonesia.
Because I think Filipinos don't know much about Indonesian cuisine.
Yeah, but something also have the same, right? Yeah.
Is it? I think it's a little bit spicy.
We have so many similarity, Philippines and Indonesia. Yeah.
And in terms of the cultural, I guess, awareness of each culture, how would you describe it?
Sometimes we have a food just only in a special day. For example, Idul Fitri, maybe on Christmas, maybe something, the ethnic, celebration. Have a food, special food, from our ancestry long time ago. So the culinary, the food like that, always the people like to promotion, and then also they cook for give to the others. Yeah.
It's a way of sharing the culture and getting to know each other. Yeah. So I know you're new to the Philippines, but you actually have a very strong relationship
Yes.
with Manila and with the president.
A long time ago, we installed and signed the sister city from Bitong City. I'm as a mayor for that time, and Mr. Rodrigo Duterte as city mayor from Davao. Yeah. We are very close because the city sister city agreement we signed in Manado, witnessed by President Ramos for that time. Yeah. And then the city relation is running well until now. So that's why I know him and he know me.
And that's a good working relationship to have as an ambassador here.
And as Mr. Rodrigo tell, we are a blood brother. Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you came here, what's kind of your mission? What would you like to do here in the Philippines?
I hope I can bring something special to the Philippines for the relation to our nation, to strengthening the bilateral and all what is the problem we're facing, both our nation. I think it can be success, but we must powerful spirit, and then living together in harmony.
Well, Indonesia is such a close ally to the Philippines for such a long time, especially when it comes to defense and security. I know that patrols are being done with Indonesia and Malaysia because piracy is such a big issue.
Mapilindo, Malaysia, Filipina, Indonesia.
And how are you building on that security relationship? Because I know there's concerns, obviously, with terrorism and trying to fight some of those,
So we
extreme
can
ideals.
hand in hand to solve the problem of the terrorism, drug.
Yes.
And then also something radicalism, fanatism, all this sickness from the people. How we can sharing to experience how we solve the problem of the terrorism, and we can bring here to maybe we can exercise good system of the good program, to solve the problem.
I know in Indonesia there was, this very hard line stance, the death penalty. You had that case with Mary Jane Veloso.
I think also under the leadership from the Excellency President of the Philippines, Mr. Rodrigo Duterte, it's the same with Indonesia. We are very, very strongly to fight the terrorism and the drug, and we have also the regulation almost the same, like to make the people live in a peaceful,
feel safe.
Safe and something like that.
And the unique similarity between the two countries is their large democracies. And this young population that untapped talent, kind of building them up and preparing them for work.
And then, as you know, before Dutch and Spain come to our country, we are one, actually. So we come from the single ancestry. And until now, there are so many similarities, talking about the language, the culture, So I think, I hope I can be successful, work together, whatever the problem of the two nations.
A shared ancestry and intertwined maritime interests, elements that fuel the country's strong economic ties. More opportunities are expected with a new shipping route linking Mindanao to Indonesia and a focus on tourism. In addition to being the Philippines' biggest supplier of coal, Indonesia has become a go-to source for military hardware. Economics, what about trade?
Of course.
What's your goal with the economics?
This is the first. My duties, my premier duties as ambassador,
Yes.
how to running the economy for the mutual benefit, Indonesia and the Philippines.
Well, Ambassador, thank you for hosting us on this very special
I thank
day.
you for your come, and I hope it is also all the people in the Philippines, especially in Manila, know about the culinary Indonesia, and then I hope for the future so many restaurants can open here.
I know. There's some that people have recommended to me already.
Yeah.
And I guess what's your message on an ending note? What's your message for our viewers on this Eid al-Fitr?
No, I think let we hand in hand walk together and living in harmony, and we can make us strengthen about the relation Indonesia and the Philippines.
Looking forward to that and what you have ahead for you.
Okay.
Good to meet you. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
Maraming salamat.
Salamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri.
Idul Fitri.